I've been on the parent and the coach role for more than 12 years. Um, right now, it's not changing here. So, um, and right now, well, my kids are all grown up. My daughter, she played for Hungary, and she's about to finish law at USF. What's political science and economics, and wants to go to law school. And then my son Sergio, he's now in a freshman in high school, and he's also coaching other little kids here. So the being an engineer, my story comes into how I couldn't help but try and quantify how many soccer hours I spent a year as a family, you know. And this is what we call it at work a wild ass guess, as to how many hours, based on my experience, a kid spends in soccer a year. And so as more hours are spent, the skill level goes up, and so on and so forth, right? That's the common conception. Uh, but then with my daughter, I mean, she was really into soccer, and come the 11th grade, she came out blank and said, you know what, I don't want to play anymore. I've had it. This is not working for me, and so on and so forth. So that was very unsettling, especially growing up and being the family sport. So I attributed that to just her being a teenager. um, and so, okay, fine, move on. Let's focus on the other kid, which is actually a little bit better. uh, and then, but to my surprise, come freshman year, he's like, I don't want to continue playing anymore, like what's going on, and stuff like that. So WTF in the family, crisis mode kind of thing. So he ended up changing clubs, going to rec, and now he's like trying to figure out what else to do. So my engineering brain couldn't stop. So then I went back and revisited the hours and try and figure out, all right, so what's going on? They're listening into their feedback on, I'm burned out, they're spending too much time on this. So I went and kind of calculated how much time we spent preparing to play, but not actually playing as the years go up. And this is the same graph I showed before, but now in black is all the time that you spend not playing, driving to practice, driving to a different city, a different state to play tournaments, just spending 2-3 nights, 4-5 nights out of a month just outside. So then you can start to see the picture of what was actually happening to them. I took it a little bit further, and when it's like, all right, calculated how much is a week in the life of a kid. No? So how is life for them in terms of time split up? And then, as expected, here's you have this the sleeping, and then the school time, some homework, and then they need to eat and take a bath, and this is the free time. And it decreases as expected. You get more responsibilities as you go to high school, but now you're talking, by the time my kids were in high school, they're 13% ish. Then looking only at the green section, how are those split up? Looking into the next steps, and um, and you see, like, now the green is I have is like free time. The orange is play time spent playing soccer, and the black one is the time preparing to play soccer. So then this really painted a really horrific picture for me. So now I have my kids. They were happy in elementary and middle school, and then come high school, they're spending half their free time on just getting ready to play. 15% of their time, 30% of their time soccer. So no wonder they're getting burned out. So that really, it's we're asking a lot of them, especially because they were not. They're good. They're really good, but they don't want to go and make soccer a career. So yeah, come high school is like, well, they have some other interests and stuff. So that was really eye opening for me. And then, but that's not the only story. There's more to it. Now, talking to other parents and other kids that are in the similar situation, you can see that now that we're putting a lot of pressure on the kids until they blow up. This is what I could come up with on the plane, but this is a common conception. So the clubs, I mean, they're squeezing every dollar to make ends meet. That forces them to do a lot of travel to play competitively, because it gives them more exposure, and as you get more exposure, you get more famous, and you enroll more people. There's also limited availability on field. This is related-ish, but plays a big role. Like I mentioned, there's too much time for soccer, but the kids don't play soccer. And then I go on the other side, and when the clubs are trying to make ends meet, if you do the numbers, they only make sense if you put as many kids as you can on a team and one coach, But then there's not enough coaches. You see the coaches, there's just not enough coaches for all the demand. I mean, they're saturated there. And then what happens is then the top teams get the best coaches. So the tier 2 coaches, the coaches that are coaching the tier 2 teams or lower, and they're not training leadership and stuff. So this is a combination of factors that influence my family and some other kids too, that this needs to change. So this Oviedo Soccer Club is just an experiment to try and fix these things. You just can't. So then you start asking yourself, okay, how can we change them? And have some ideas here to start relieving that pressure. So I think the most important one is we just need to challenge the status quo on how youth soccer is established. We on the left side is the travel and all that stuff. A lot of things to address this time is just play local tournaments, practice in local parks, and then just practice and play. Just stay home. There's no need to travel. There's a lot of talent in Orlando. That why the hell are we going to Atlanta or to North Carolina to go play another team, and then we get bid like 0-8, no? So that's an easy solution. Well, easy not to implement, but to say it. And then I have the other side on what I'm calling agile teams, and I'll get to that. And then the other I address by coaching the coaches. And what I mean by that is, well, okay, before I go there, so then it's just 4 challenges, right, that I summarize. So I want to play and practice locally, but stay competitively. The only local clubs that play are rec teams, in which are part of the competitive clubs, and they get but then you get the same effect. You get like 22 kids per team, and everybody has to play, so you're not competitive, and then you don't have play time, and it becomes a challenge. So the clubs do that just because they need to earn money, The second challenge that I'll talk next is coach the coaches, and create the agile teams. And again, I want to challenge the youth soccer business model. So on the coaches side of things, here's what I want to do. And this, I've done it with my kids, so I know it works. So I want to have like a head coach that takes, for instance, this agile team. HS is high school, where we could get a group of however many high school players that form a team. You have 5 players, then those 5 players get together and then can go and play on a 5v5 tournament. If I get 22 players, then I can have 2 11v11 teams, etc. And some of these kids, we train them to be coaches. So then these coaches, these high school kids, then in turns go and coach, say, a middle school team, and so on and so forth. No? And then the middle school kids can go and teach elementary school. I'll mentor with a head coach, and then usually it's like a parent that helps. So I did that a lot. When I was coaching, I coached at the Y, and then I coached at Florida Craze Crush. And I got the parents involved, and then you can tell who the kids are leaders, and you need to teach them how to coach, and then so on and so forth. So
Enrique,
so that has worked. Yep.
You've got about a minute left.
Oh, okay. All right. So, oh my gosh. Then yeah, that's that's I guess that's my that's my approach right now. So I'll just go with the ask for the one MC team. So I have this big problem. I think I have the solution, but what I don't know is how to structure the club as a business. In this approach that I was talking about, the high school kid gets paid by the kids he coaches, right? So instead of working at McDonald's, he works for the club and makes some money, and so on and so forth. And that trickles down. So it at a core, a single team, it is profitable, not that much. So that's yeah, that's where what I want to ask. And then I don't have enough time right now for myself, so I want to try and get seed money later to hire one coach and admin, but stuff like that. So pretty much it's a venting scenario that really put a lot of pressure on my kids and other kids, and this is the solution I'm proposing. So I want to build it as a business, and try and get your feedback there.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Enrique. This is pretty interesting. I forgive the pun. I just want to start off real quick with, what is the goal of youth soccer in your opinion? So like, what is the ultimate purpose? Is it to produce professional soccer players? Is it to provide leadership and teach kids the benefits of teamwork? Like, what really do you see would be the purpose, let's call it, of the club?
Of the club is just to grow the kids in leadership. It worked amazingly for my daughter, and my son is an introvert, so he is working in his advantage to get out of his shell, and I've seen it also in other kids. So that's it. I don't want to coach the kids to go into Division 1. That for that there's already structure that exists.
Okay.
That's good feedback. I should have that also.
Yeah, that just wasn't very clear to me. I mean, you were talking about the details and the technicalities of how to do it better, but I just wasn't sure what you wanted to see as the ultimate purpose and mission behind it. Tammy has a question. She says, "Pues gracias, Enrique, for your presentation. How will you obtain local park fields that don't accept reservations and do only first come basis?"
So yeah, that's the way we do it. If is because the size of the teams are not big, so you can just go and collect 4 or 5 kids and go to just a local corner on the park and just start playing. I'm working with a lawyer to see how you can sign a waiver for that. But yeah, if you want to get into reservations, all the clubs have them snagged for the next 3 years. Like just pick your friends, go find a park and play in a corner. I think that's very doable. And then that's what I'm saying. We play in tournaments. So if you collect 11 of your friends, go and play and enroll in a tournament. You cannot play in a league because the league asks you to have a local field that then you put in for the for the other teams in the same league to play, and those are already hogged. But if I want to get more aggressive, I can just go and challenge them and just put something with the Oviedo government and say it's not fair. A single club cannot hog all the fields. So, but now this has worked for us, and this is what is like micro agile teams. Like just go and play with your friends, and the club will provide you with, okay, this is how you do some structured practices and stuff like that.
Yeah, Tammy has an interesting suggestion. She says, also, instead of having coaches, can you teach the players to self-referee, like ultimate frisbee pickup and local league games? Is that kind of along the lines of your agile team concept too?
It is now. This is a great and I know you can you can coach, you can referee as old as I think 13 years old, and then the kids get paid, and there's a huge shortage of refs as well. So that's a really good suggestion.
So in Enrique, in Ultimate,
Mhm.
there is no pay. So basically the players self-referee. And if it's contested, then it goes back to the original play.
Okay.
So you may want to check that out. And so of course there are going to be some arguments, but you just hash
Yeah.
it out and start
Mhm.
playing again.
Thank you, Tammy.
You're welcome.
Or you pull from the NCAA, they have the possession arrow. So anytime there's a jump ball or there's a contest that they don't want to take a lot of time to try and figure out, whoever's got the possession arrow gets the ball, and then it switches to the other team after that happens. So it just keeps the game moving and keeps it somewhat fair. So Eric's question is, do you see this as a money-making venture, or is this like a nonprofit? What kind of business?
It is right now. I'm calling it an experiment, like a minimum viable product. It must be, if I want to change the way soccer is addressed and not burn out the kids that don't want to go play college, it must make money. So that's like at a very micro level. Like if you go here, like imagine this this high school kid is coaching these kids, 5 of them. Each of them give them like $10 to $15. So he's making money, and then part of that goes to the club. So at that level, this is profitable. Right now, when I coach with my son, the kids we coach, they pay him, right? And I'm just helping him. So my uncertainty right now is like how can this grow? I did some calculations that are complete whack, but say it's like, if you were to grow that into Seminole and hire 2 people to manage, then you will lose money in Seminole. But if you go to Florida, and then you start making a little bit of money here, and this is, and then if you say, okay, this becomes like, a sensation in 30 states and so on and so forth, and you capture only like 0.05% of the market, then you're talking in the 2 million thing. But I think for now it's like, does this work? And just to give a reference, so this is some whack projections that I did based on market share. The market share for FKK is 0.65 of Oviedo. So these numbers are, okay, 0.20%, 0.20% in Seminole puts us there. You could be profitable if I only hire 1 person, and then I'm also giving them, that person needs to make money. So I'm like, I was planning for an 80K salary. I don't know how the coaches' salaries are. But yeah, it must make money. Otherwise, it's more of the same, and we just go and pay for play sort of things. And yeah.
What would the kids be paying per month, or the families, I guess? Do you have an idea there?
Yeah, the way I was thinking about it was, for high school kids, they pay $15 per session. And then it's just how many sessions you want to do, you just do the math. Or the little kids, they can do $10. And the coach takes like 70% or something. That's with the numbers that I made here. Per month, it's up to that's why I call it the agile team. So it's up to the coach how many times they practice, especially, they could do 1, 2, however times they want. Like my son right now gets together and plays once a week or so. And then, so that will be the frequency there. But I don't want also to be committed to like, okay, you need to pay for the full year and then you're screwed for the rest of the year. It's like, just make it easy and simple, and fun.
Okay, interesting. Simon has a question. Can local schools support with a pitch? And Simon, I don't know if you want to add to that or explain that further.
Yeah, I'll put another question for another point further down as well. I don't fully understand how things would work here with this, but one of your problems is having a place to play. Now every school has sports facilities, and every school has kids. Surely schools are going to be interested in giving their kids something to do out of school in help people like you in help other local groups of soccer clubs and create a local league working with schools?
That's an awesome suggestion. I am in talks with the high school coach in Haggerty about helping him with what I call ground school. So the leadership is also, I didn't talk about this aspect, but also, when it rains, don't cancel practice, go and have a ground school where you go and do some lessons on soccer and leadership and stuff like that. But I will definitely pitch it to schools because they do have facilities and you drive around them and they're not being used. When I was at the Y, we played some leagues with some middle schools, but we used public parks. And then we also went to Most Pressure Blood in Oviedo, and they had a huge place that we converted into a soccer field for a couple of years. But that's a good suggestion. I have not thought of that for this.
Yeah, that's an excellent suggestion. Rupert's question, do you have a learning program to teach high school, middle school kids to coach? So do you have a program to develop these coaches?
I have a draft. I don't have it here with me, but one of the mentors I had in FKK, who's now a real estate agent, helped me put together like a curriculum of stuff like that. And my idea of the program is to convert that or adapt that curriculum in soccer, but also I had 15 years of leadership training at Siemens and at SpaceX. So combine the two of them and make it a hybrid. And that's what that's what I'm working on, with the help of eventually a head coach that I want to hire, and the kids that want to be coaches, they will also be making the material. But yeah, it's just leadership 101 kind of stuff. How to give feedback, how to how to tell a story, that kind of stuff.
Makes sense. And Rupert also says, get sponsors to pay for uniforms and equipment, which I think is how a lot of teams probably do that as well.
Yeah.
Eric wants to know, have you talked with the Oviedo mayor about this? Maybe she would love an idea like this.
I actually, one of my son's ex-teammates, the mother is best friends with her. I have not. You guys are the first formal presentation I give. I just was talking to a friend of mine. It's like, well, what do I do? Where do I start? And that's how he suggested the 1 million cups. So I pinged you, and then you guys forced me, or this presentation forced me to start putting all my ideas together. And then you can see it's a lot of slides. So I'm just trying to refine this, how to tell this story and who to go with. But yeah, once I'm a little bit more ready in how to tell it, that's a good idea.
If you drop your email in the chat, I can introduce you to her.
Oh, that would be awesome. I will.
One of the places I would start too is just getting clarity on brand and message. I feel like there's maybe there needs to be like a tagline or a kind of something added to the logo where like it's lead, play, grow, or lead, play, succeed. So it's obvious that it's leadership first, maybe play second, or the other way around. It's just so it could kind of capture someone's attention. Like it's just not another one of those clubs. Oh, it's just soccer. No, it's not just soccer. It's leadership. It's learning how to work in a team. It's all of these skills that maybe schools don't really focus on as much anymore. So I think just kind of working through the clarity of really distill it down to what is the purpose? What is the mission? What is the vision? It doesn't have to be a full brand right away, but at least that core those 3 core elements, I think will unlock a lot of what you want to say to people and how you want to articulate it.
Actually, play, lead, succeed flows very nicely.
Play.
Yeah, I want to put play in there somewhere though, like lead, play, succeed, or lead.
Play, lead, succeed.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that works.
Yeah,
Play,
I love
lead,
that.
succeed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll work it into the logo. It's this great feedback, guys.
Yeah, DJ Senthil also has, he says, find a larger Florida K-12 soccer association. If not, start forming one by inviting the organization's coaches you meet through your journey or connections so that they can become your target to pitch your idea and have them adopt. So yeah, I definitely want to say the chat. There's been a few really good comments about the self-refereeing and this as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Eric for our final question.
All right, Enrique, thank you very much. We should work on your presentation a little bit, help you cut that down, especially as you talk to other 1 Million Cups groups. We'll want to help you streamline that. But the final, the final question that we ask is, what can we as a community do for you? And you've got your slide up.
Yeah, it's really hard to think of one question, but I think the one where I'm struggling the most is how to structure it as a business, and where can I where or how can I get help with this, and that is
Okay. Well, there are definitely plenty of people who can help you with that. If you would drop your contact information in the chat, I'm sure we've got a number of people who would love to sit down with you and give you some ideas on that side of things. I mean, this is a room full of entrepreneurs, so we all know about starting a business or running a business or having a business. And Rupert just dropped something in the chat. He can help you set it up as an actual business. So definitely follow up with him on that. But please, everybody, drop your information in the chat so we can so if we can all save it. And then if anybody's got any questions for anybody, we can get a hold of each other. I'm going to share my screen one more time.
Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
This was very, very useful. Yeah, thank you.
Next week, we are going to be hearing from Stephen Malik of, I'm thinking it's Arriview. We'll find out. But for now, we're calling it Arriview Technologies. And that is an AI system that I just blanked on what it does. But anyway, he's going to be here to tell us about it next week. Please don't forget the 1 Million Cup survey. bit.ly, and I did drop the link in the chat. You should be able to find it at bit.ly bit.ly/1MCO survey, and it takes 5 minutes, just a few questions to answer. Download the chat, connect with somebody that you've met here, and join us on meetup.com. And then we've got some open time, so I wanted to have a couple of discussion questions. We've asked this before, and it's always needs change, so it's always a good idea to come back each time and revisit the question. The question I want to talk about is, who do you need to meet right now? It could be a name of a person, or it could be a typical job type. Enrique needs to meet people who can be business mentors. I need to meet creative directors at marketing agencies, the directors who hire freelance writers. So that's my person. Anybody else, who do you need to meet? Yale.
Yes, good morning, everyone. So for me, and I just said apply to present something coming up, and then hopefully I'll get with Josh in the next couple of weeks to put something together. But I've been involved in doing some things with QR codes and such, and I'd love to really meet to any general managers of hotels or management companies that you know of to really create that customer journey for those people, to create that better experience. So if you know any from that aspect, as well as realtors. So I'm dealing with a lot with hospitality and real estate. So been working with them a lot.
Okay, great.
More to come when I give my presentation.
Excellent. Tammy needs to meet people who need space for meeting and teaching. So I'm guessing, Tammy, you want regular recurring. That's kind of a top priority, is to have people who they're going to come back at the same time each week.
Yes, yes. And
Talk
so
a
I'm
little-
marketing now and searching all over the place for crafting teachers, academic teachers, tutors. I had a speech therapist come in yesterday who's interested in starting here. So yeah, just, trying to meet even more people.
And you have had I think one of the more interesting classes show up in your space.
Which one was that?
The charcuterie
Yes.
class.
Yes.
Talk about that.
So Leanne Kazi from High Society Charcuterie started out as a cottage business making charcuterie plates for folks' special events. And I'm not sure how she got into the teaching piece of it, but she realized that when she started offering classes, they were selling out. I've seen her classes go anywhere from $65 to $95 per person. The most recent class that she had scheduled, it was for $95 per person, and she did not sell that out. In fact, she didn't get anyone signed up for it. So I recommended to her maybe decreasing the price, but I don't push it. I just basically say, 2 folks have come by interested in your class. But when I mentioned the price, they said it was outside of their means. So hopefully, it's her business and she gets to choose what she does with it, but hopefully she'll find a price point that works for folks.
Okay, cool. Enrique said he's got to go. So Enrique, thank you very much. I'm guessing you're traveling. So if you are,
Yeah.
safe travels.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm stuck in a Holiday Inn in South Padre Island. I have to go to this launch pad. But no, thanks a lot, everyone. Sorry I had to ditch early, but hopefully I can become a regular here.
I hope so. That'd be great.
All right. I'll be in
Thanks a lot.
touch. Bye, guys. Thank
Bye.
you.
All right.
Don't forget
anyone
to
else?
save the chat.
Oh yeah, save the chat.
Hey,
Oh,
Eric,
okay.
Yes, Scott.
this is for you.
Star wipe. Thank you. I appreciate that. I like the blue and orange too. That's a cool color. You think it would clash, but it doesn't.
Well, University of Florida likes it.
Yeah, that's true. Simon, who do you need to meet?
I need to meet primarily people in education. So I'm looking at deans in education that deal with the technology problems. They've got so I want people who want to automate their process. They want to do integration. So people that already have systems, but they want to make things work together and flow better together. Education is my primary market, but pretty much any business out there that needs help getting out of spreadsheets into applications, that's what we do.
Okay, great. So deans of high school or deans of K-12 or college?
K-12, typically we're looking at the charter schools and private schools, because when you go into the public school sector, everything's more done at the county level. So yes, we'd like to speak to the county level, but they have a different approach to everything there already. So what we're targeting are the private schools and charter schools.
Okay, and only in Florida or anywhere?
Anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, the world's a big place, and the technology has a reach worldwide.
Okay, super. All right. BJ, who are you looking to meet?
I was not going to say anything. I know because I don't limit myself. I would like to meet anyone at random whom I have never met before, learn and share from their life. I don't restrict myself. I have to meet this type of people, or this category of people are, I don't limit myself. I mean, that's me. Yeah.
Okay. I do recommend any of you meet VJ for coffee. We did that, was it about 3 weeks ago? Had a good time.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Met at Deeply Coffee downtown. So definitely give VJ a call and meet him for coffee.
I would love to. Yep.
That'll be anybody. So Jezreel, what about you? Who do you want to meet, or who do you need to meet for work?
Who do I need to meet for work?
Yes.
I like going to, I mean, I don't think there's anybody specifically that I want to meet. But I do love learning and reaching out to people who have kind of been through this process. And I love always hearing, oh, you're so young in your field. Because it gives me the opportunity to open that up of, yeah, I've been doing this for, a while, but then I also get that feedback of, well, this is where it's going to take you now. And just meeting things along those lines, but nobody in specific, really.
Okay.
I love the caption behind you.
The what?
I love the caption behind you. We work for one person, which is you.
That's our slogan. Yes, we work for one person and it's you.
Yeah.
That's great.
So
Nice.
thank you.
Rupert, how about you?
Y'all know me, man. I'm just I'm basically looking for angel investors that have two brain cells to rub together. Basically, it's just basically somebody who's interested not in a 3% chance of a hit, but in a 50% chance of strong, high growth ROI that while creating strong economic development for Central Florida and any other community that they may be in. So that's my focus. I'm also looking for co-founders in the game industry for, testing and marketing and so forth. But yeah, without funding, we're not moving very fast.
Okay. Jane.
I want to meet with Rupert. I want to document his success in our area and put it on Orlando memory.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You want me to give you the link and we can set it up?
I have your email. I've just been waiting for the right time to ask you since I first met you. And then there was a pandemic. And I was like, well, I'll wait for the right time.
That's fine. Just send me an email and we'll set it up.
Okay, thank you.
Happy to oblige. Happy to oblige.
Anyone else? Who did we miss? Josh.
Yeah, I would love to meet a leader of a sales team who's finally figured out that their team doesn't need more sales training. They don't need to know how to freaking close and overcome objections and all this shit that they keep pushing on them. They don't need more product training. They actually need to learn how not to repel people on a first impression in business. And they need to bring in a little different kind of training that I call micro branding, and to completely change their performance. So getting away from the old school sales training and into the actually being a human being in business will take a team, will skyrocket their performance very, very quickly. I've seen it. So I'm looking for sales leaders that have half a brain, that want to do something about it.
Cool. And Scott.
I'm currently altering the answer to that question.
Okay. So we should come back to you next week.
Yeah, check back later.
Okay, excellent. All right, let me share my screen one last time, just so I can say thank you all for coming. Appreciate having you. We will be, a quick reminder, I blew right past it once before and I'm going to blow past it again, but we're going to start announcing it more formally next week. But we will start meeting on April 27th at the UCF incubator on Colonial Avenue. So that's across from the Fashion Square Mall. Michael Weiss, who runs that incubator, has agreed to let us just start meeting there. So we're actually looking like, how do we get our stuff from Rollins College? Because we had a wagon that had a couple of coffee urns in it and a bunch of stuff. I've got all the pop-up banners, if you remember those when you would walk in. So we'll have those back out. And so we're going to start meeting in person again. Not sure what we're going to be doing about masks, but I guess we will leave it to everybody's best discretion. And we'll talk about it more in the coming weeks, but just so you know, April 27th, you can start showing up at 8:30. And if you go to the strip mall where it's located, it's a big long mall and it kind of wraps around. And as you're facing the mall and you go to your right around the side, that's where the incubator is. It's in the same plaza as the Smash Burger on Colonial, if you know where that is. So
Eric, is it only going to be live, or is it going to be a hybrid, or are you going to still have Zoom, or no?
We're going to try to do a hybrid. I want to keep people coming, even speakers coming from away. So,
That's what I was going to question. Yeah.
So I want to have that, because some people still aren't comfortable going back out in public. And so I want that to be an option for you as well.
Okay,
So
thank you.
we're trying to figure out the technology. I've done it with a writers group that I belong to. I just plug my phone into my laptop and use that as a camera for Zoom. So we'll probably do something similar. I just have to make sure that we're able to access all the technology that they have available at the site. So
Let's talk about that, Eric.
I'm sorry, Scott? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I would love to have your help on that. So anyway, thank you all for coming. Thank you for being a part of this, and I appreciate all your help and support, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all in person again. So I will see you all in 7 days.
See you everyone. See you, Rick. Bye.
Bye.